We continually reinforce good things that are happening. Our competing on defense was terrific. We had a very good defensive game going until we intentionally fouled at the end. And then offensively, we've just got to concentrate on purposeful ball movement and take some of the pressure off of ourselves when we dribble too much. And we just got to keep communicating and working on it.
How do you stress better ball movement at the same time having these guys make the simple play and not do too much?
Well, we drilled some things today. It's important to watch some of the things that are happening, show why there are problems, and point out the solutions. And simplicity is always a very important part of playing well. So it's the old adage: keep it simple, do it hard, and then move it. Move it is what we got to continue to work at doing.
Last night only 6 points off the 12 turnovers you forced. What does your team need to do to take more advantage of other teams' mistakes?
Purposeful, ball movement. Some of those situations we got good shots that just missed. So a lot of the stuff I really liked. But it's such a binary business, with regard to winning and losing, that things become very magnified when you're struggling. And so my job is to see things as they are, not worse than they are, and to help these guys make it better. And that's what we're working at.
What do you take away from that first matchup against Minnesota? Carl Anthony Towns and Wiggins both had a pretty good game.
Yeah, they were both. They both had big nights. Minnesota's, presenting themselves as a dominant team. I mean, they went into Utah 2 nights ago and really handled them at Utah. They were up close to 20 majority of the second quarter and second half, and so it's a physical team. Rebounding is going to be a big part of it. They've got guys that can post up at virtually every position, and so it's a very stout test of your defensive principles, coverages, etc.
Rick, the level of competition obviously has been pretty stout so far, but your fight level, has it gotten to the point where you're okay with it? I mean, Wes was saying last night that ever since the Washington game, the competitive effort has been there.
I agree with Wes. I agree that we're competing very well, very hard. Defensively, last night against the Spurs, we had a lot of really good things going, and we short-circuited ourselves a bit offensively. And when you're in a thin margins situation like we are, you got to be good on both sides of the ball, and both sides are so importantly connected. So, hey, we got a couple of days to get better at things. The guys are staying together and continuing to talk about things, fight, and we're working hard every day, and that's what we got to continue to do.
Nerlens got a couple minutes last night guarding Pau Gasol. What is a good matchup for him?
Nerlens is a guy that can help us without question. It's been tough lately for him to get minutes and find good matchups, but I'm talking to him every day. He's got a really good attitude. He's very supportive of the guys that are playing ahead of him, and he's a pro. And so at this point, you just got to stay ready, because he can help us with rim protection. He can help us with a rolling presence to the basket. And defensively, he's a guy that can get his hands on a lot of balls. So, he's just got to remain ready.
Are there any instances where he could play 4 minutes?
No. Flat out no. It just doesn't work. And look, our overload at center makes it even tougher. You know, it's almost like we went to Costco and got a forklift full of centers. And look, they're all good players, but there's a limited number of minutes, and with more teams playing hybrid centers, it makes it even harder.
Speaking of centers, Salah last night, I guess you could say, agitated with LaMarcus Aldridge. Is it nice to have a guy that can get under another team's skin a little bit like Salah does?
Well, you got to have competitive edge, and every team's got to have some guys with edgy personality, and I think it just helps. It just helps your collective competitiveness as a team. And Salah's always brought that. He always has, and I'm really pleased for him. He's progressed each year. He's been healthier each year because he's worked at his strength, and he had the knee scope, and that was a very positive thing because he worked hard at his recovery, and so he's been a very important player for us, and he's got to keep bringing what he can bring.